My hat! Today was a very fun day at Norcal Hobbies despite it being extremely hot. But before I go into the video, let me show you about the body. So lesson learned, don't cheap out on bodies. I thought maybe I could run it one more day, just one more time before painting up a new body, and no, the answer is no. Qualifier 1 or 2, I took a hit to the rear, and this is what happened. So the wing broke, and I have this tape that is holding it on, and that's the damage. And you know, bodies, the aerodynamics do matter even on 21.5, but notice the gap there right in here between this side panel and the wheel. So this body, the side panels are sticking out, should be just like this. That should be the natural gap. So you can see it's a massive difference, and it's the same thing on the other side. And this is just an old body that I've run for a long time. And the front, qualifier 1, it started breaking and cracking, but I didn't reinforce it with tape. So qualifier 2, that's when I started noticing. So whenever it would bend this way, so for example, there was a car that went over the apex, landed on me, it landed and then hit the tires. So the body was right on the tires as a brake, and I couldn't go anywhere because the car was stuck like this. So somebody had to come in, pop the body up, and then I used the tape for the main, but still not the best thing in the world. You can still feel that it breaks those front wheels. These arches will just collapse and hit. So don't cheap out on bodies. Bodies are actually very, very important. Tires, the most important thing. Your setup is probably the next, and then bodies are probably the third most important for aerodynamics, stability. So you need a body that's light, but rigid enough to handle all of the forces from just air, jumps. So if I would hit an apex, for example, and accidentally jump, the body would collapse because that front end would hit, go up, and then it would just bend. So this would bend and then just hit the tires, and it works as a brake. It just hits the tire right on here, doesn't let them spin freely. So that's what I learned today. Do not cheap out on bodies. I mean, just take the time. If I had made the time to paint another body, I wouldn't have had those issues, but you can tell how beat up this body is. Anyway, let's go on to the race now. This is the B main, so I'm starting in third position. I'm gonna end fourth, so there's a spoiler. The goal is to not be third and beyond. Top 2 will go to the A main, and then you have a chance at the A main. That's the goal. So here we go. We get started. But the temperature was way too hot. It was about 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is probably about 38 Celsius. And the asphalt was about 130 degrees, somebody said. So that's 54, 55. Celsius to give you an idea, which is, I guess, nice for traction if you have the proper tires. But I was having fun. So as you can see in the beginning, so there I am, third place still, keeping up. So those are the top 5 cars. I am going to screw up. Yes, I'm going to blame the body. I'm looking for an excuse. The body's like right next to me right now saying it's not me, it's you as the driver, and the body's probably right, but the body can actually not speak. So I'm going to say it's the body's fault. The body cannot defend itself. There. Looks like I initiate the turn. Maybe don't leave enough space. The other car's going straight. Doesn't seem like the car's turning. So I wonder if I did not initiate the turn, if we would have still crashed just further on. Or maybe I just turned in too soon. So that's an actual question. Now, insurance companies will deal with it and determine who's at fault. Maybe it's, 50-50%. Maybe that was supposed to be door-to-door. It's not really door-to-door. But maybe they'll determine a 25, 75, 75, 25. You can pretend to be the insurance and then just comment below. That's fine. You can roast me. You can roast the white car. You can roast them both. It'll be fun. But I am curious. So, from your perspective, if you want to just put in the comments, what do you think would have happened if I had not turned the way I did, or anyway, just what could have avoided this accident? Possibly, because I think I turned in maybe a little too quick, or I was just following my own line. Maybe got surprised by the other car, didn't consider the other car. And the other car seems to just be going straight and not turning. So I want to say it's both of us. Anyway, that aside, nothing happened. We're both running. Luckily, no harm, no foul. But I always feel bad whenever there's a crash, regardless of whose fault it is. Because you never want somebody to break a car, because then it's well, I don't want to say it's less fun, but it's less fun for the person whose car broke. But anyway, that aside, put in your 2 cents. I'm curious. But like I said, it's a really fun day. I'm doing all right. The tape has helped a lot, but I am overshooting the turns. Oh, that's something else I forgot to mention. I forgot to bring my ESC is a just stock ESC, so there's no timing or anything. It's impossible. But I forgot my program box or card, whatever it's called. I pretty much have no brake. Yeah, I absolutely have no brake. If I were to go on the straight and then hit the brakes at full power, yeah, good luck with that. I will hit the wall if I don't turn. So that's something I have to go through. Maybe I'll try out some drag brakes, see how that works. That'll probably help me not overshoot the turns. So just a variety of problems, things, I should have planned ahead. I have the memory card here now. But that aside, like I said, really fun day. This is something that you're going to enjoy. The main thing, like I mentioned, that I learned is in the past I've mentioned how tires are important. I have a video on a setup station, how to use it. So if you're new, that's something I would strongly recommend. Get a setup station. SkyRC makes a really nice one. Pretty affordable, I would say. Well, given how much the hobby cost. But like I said, don't cheap out on bodies. If the body looks like it's beginning to degrade and deteriorate, just replace it. Don't do what I did and then try to get another race day out of it, because it's probably going to ruin the rest of your races. So this is the B main, didn't make it to the A main. I'm not saying I would have made it to the A main, there's no guarantee, but at least qualifier 2 would have been more fun. So don't focus on this race. Unfortunately, I did not record qualifier 2. But qualifier 2 wasn't that fun for me, because once in a while the body would just collapse, hit those front tires, it would act as a brake, and then I couldn't go anywhere. So at that point, the only thing that you're doing is creating more resistance, not going as fast as you could. Whenever the body flexes, it's going to start hitting the tires, or you will scrub speed, or you'll overheat your motor because you're overworking it. So those are some of the things that you want to keep in mind. Bodies are actually very, very important as well, just like every other component in the vehicle. So again, don't cheap out on them. Lesson learned, made a note. Hopefully you do as well, if that's the case that you're in. But other than that, I did pretty good. Right now I'm looking for the red shell. I can't find him. I think this is the first time I actually lose track of the red shell. Usually I can point him out. Red shell, after you see this video, let me know where you are. Are you the orange car? No, you're not the orange car. Yeah, what happened, red shell? I keep looking for you. Well, that's the end of the race. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.
Oh, my hair! My car! My rod!